Hey guys, welcome to the Model Citizen Podcast. We're your hosts, Hunter and Michaela. We are so excited to have you here. All right, let's dive in.
I know.
We need to become producers on shows.
I think we need to become producers because I have so much to say about the way that they edited this season of Love is Blind.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, guys.
As you guys know, do we even need to say it? We're diving in.
No,
okay?
we're diving in.
Here's the thing. Michaela sent me a clip of Joey. Well, okay, explain it.
Okay,
I just have so many questions onto why this was not in there.
So a listener actually sent me this reel that was a behind the scenes clip of Joey's friends meeting. What was her name? No, I'm forgetting it. I'm so bad with names.
Melissa,
Joey, and
what's her name?
Sorry, I'm like, girl. Monica.
Duh.
It was a reel of Monica meeting Joey's friends, and Joey's friends were all like, wow, we're just like really surprised because Joey like always said he like wasn't super interested in marriage and like all of this. And it's so interesting to hear that. And it's also interesting why they wouldn't show that on Love is Blind, like the actual season, but then they also release it after, because it's like that stuff can only get out if the Love is Blind folks release it. So why are you even tempting us with this information that we like while not giving us the season we like?
That's exactly it. Okay. They're going to do another episode that's going to be like footage you didn't see. Okay. They're queuing it up for that. They're going to like, that's what they're doing. They're like peppering it in here and there. And it's going to be like, I feel like, mark my words, we're going to get some like bombs that are being dropped in the next few weeks as they release this episode. Right. However, I think if I was a editor or producer, whatever, I would have put something like this in there because it would have given, especially their storyline, so much more to work with. Yeah. And I feel like, because I feel like other than that, like the season was a little bit vanilla. It was like, like the reunion was really great. But I also wonder how much backlash they would get if they're like, he's not ready for marriage and the whole thing is marriage. I also here's the thing. That's a good point. I also think that there needs to be something in the contract. I think we need to higher the stakes. I think that it needs to become like legally binding when you get out. Like it can't be like, hey, we're going to date. It needs to be like, no, like you guys are engaged legally binding. Now.
Well, no, it is legally binding.
But like some people will be like, yeah, like we're not engaged. We're going to like meet at the altar, but we're like dating.
Oh, okay. You mean kind of like what?
I need them to be like engaged. Like you guys are like,
Well, they do propose to them though, for real. And then they get married, but like it's real marriage. You know that, right? They have to get a marriage license before they do it. Like,
but I need these people to not be like, I'm going to date. Like, we're going to date.
Like after.
I need you to literally be like, no, we're engaged. Like, sorry.
Well, I think that's kind of like the premise is that you either get married or you never see each other again, which like nobody can enforce that because we live in America. So it's not like you can like keep people away from each other. I see what you mean though. It kind of like ruins the stakes. Yeah. If it's like, well, maybe we'll just continue dating. It's like, okay, so you guys are just having a normal relationship.
That's just a normal relationship that's like ironically caught on TV.
And then I saw another thing that I sent you that the same person sent me that Sarah and Joey apparently are dating. And Monica, that's what I sent you. I sent you that thing.
I thought you were
No, yes. Monica. Okay, so apparently Joey and Sarah are dating, and Monica like has a quote basically saying, I know that's what I said. Oh, that's what I said. Also, I was so rooting for Sarah, and I'm like, Sarah, that's fucked up actually. There's so many guys in the world. Why him? Please.
Because and then, it's a shared experience of it all.
I know. It's the trauma. It's the trauma bond. But also Monica was quoted as saying, I was sitting here venting to her about Joey and like asking for advice and like all this stuff. And this whole entire time, she and him were together.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. This new
Sarah
episode is
and
gonna
Joey
come
were
out.
together.
That's
Sarah
what I'm
and Joey were
saying.
together.
This episode is gonna come out. I'll be damned if they're not currently filming something. That's gonna be like
Like
1 year
after the
later. Yeah.
pods. Maybe
Also,
we should be producers.
I need them to crank these out a little faster. I can't
Oh
wait like a
God,
year in
no.
between. I need them to simultaneously be doing multiple at a time. Also, it
And I
was
need them
crazy that
out soon.
you sent me that the Love is Blind was it Brazil? There's like a murder
Argentina.
mystery.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep. The Love is Blind
now that
Argentina. Yeah,
the
one of the
stakes.
contestants was he was arrested for attempted murder on the girl.
That's freaking
And I will say I feel like
cray.
they're kind of burying the story a little bit cuz like you can only find little bits about it
Yeah,
here and there. And also it's not like our country, so it's not like we're going to be there. Netflix is like bury it. Like
for sure.
they are paying every outlet money to be like take it down, take it off. Like we don't want to be, this cannot taint the name of
For sure.
Love is Blind Netflix, so I
It's
don't
such a
know.
good show, dude. Oh god, it's such a good show.
It could be better if
We're
only we were
producers.
able to get our hands in. And this is a producer podcast.
This is a producer podcast.
This
And we
is a
know this.
producer podcast. If you want to talk about producing,
You really are the producer of this podcast.
I am a podcast producer.
I want you to tell our listeners, because the other day you were like, you asked me something and I was like, why would you say that? And you were like, I don't know, I just assume people don't like me. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
And then literally a mere 2 hours later, someone from your past had messaged you and was like, I literally grew up like wanting to be you. And I thought you were so cool. And, like no one else in the group I really like looked up to, but you, I just wanted to be you. And I was just like, how we like, lest we forget, right?
It's so true. I think, but also like, doesn't everyone feel like no one likes them, or is that just me?
Oh no, I think that literally nobody likes.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think that almost like maybe my kids don't like I don't think anybody likes me for sure.
Imagine.
But it's
Do you think
wild
I
for
like
me.
you? Because you'd be wrong.
Barely.
Right.
Barely.
Right.
Actually,
so sometimes
I
true.
kind of think you're the only one that likes me.
That also is true.
But like it's crazy because I think that, but then when you say something like that, I'm like, you're crazy. So explain, because I actually thought that was really cool. And I also wish that more people would come forward and just tell everyone that they wanted to be somebody.
I think that we guard our compliments in this culture
ridiculous.
so much. I am not like that. You know me, like I'm a fangirl. I will tell somebody I love them. I am like annoying with it. Like even my friends, like they know like I'm in your business. I'm up your ass. Like I'm like, I tell you all the things. But I just, so I don't know. It's so weird. I just feel like sometimes you're just like, does anybody even like me? Like, am I even anything at all? Am I
For sure.
anyone at all? And then that particular friend, I don't know if she listens, but if she does, you know who you are. I grew up with her, and she and I have been DMing back and forth because she is a nurse. And so obviously a lot of the stuff I talk about has to do with like either medical or healthcare. We are a medical podcast. And so she and I talk a lot in the DMs, and we were talking about how we were like the only two bigger girls in our girl group growing up. Most of our girlfriends were super tiny, like very small, like not just normal small, like very skinny, very tiny. And so and she and I are both these like English Irish bred, like
rugby
these Vikings rugby players, literally like 90 feet tall, whatever. And she was saying, she's like, I actually really loved when you came around because, we moved schools a lot. We moved schools a lot. So I wasn't always in the group.
Also, by the way, you really were not. Like if you look back in hindsight.
What?
You were not like at that time, like super big. You're probably what, a size 10?
Oh, I was maybe a size bigger than them, but when
I know
you're younger and like
it's the
even
2001 of it all.
If you're even an inch bigger, you may as well be 40 pounds bigger than everyone. You may as well be 130 pounds bigger. It's like any little difference.
Yeah.
If you're an inch taller than somebody, you're the tall girl.
Yeah.
You're the big girl.
Always.
You're the massive big, like you're the Goliath of the group, and they'll let you know. But yeah, so she was like, we were talking about that, and she was saying, I actually really loved when you came around because I didn't feel so weird and like out of place. I felt like I had another girl in the group. Um, and because I only came around once in a while, obviously, because didn't go to school always with them. But and she was like, yeah, and you were so cool, like in high school. And like, I always think about me back in high school, and I'm always like, and I think I was telling you this, I never like would ever say that I was cool. I think I was more aloof. And I
Yeah,
think because we were
yeah.
going through so much, like our parents had just started getting a divorce. It was so messy. It was so traumatic. It was like so bad.
Yeah, it literally took 7 years to finalize.
It took so long. It's
Trauma.
like until Tynan, it was still bad,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, let's just be so for real.
Let's just be so for
And
real.
imagine the very
Could barely literally
beginning.
be in a room together.
Couldn't even be in a
Okay,
room, had each other
until
blocked. Okay,
literally
cool.
until
Literally
something really
until
traumatic happens, and then they have to be in a room together. Now we celebrate Christmases together. Anyways.
and it's giving us a whiplash. And so I think that, yeah, whatever. But some people interpret it as me being like cool. I interpreted it me being like, I really don't care about high school stuff because I am literally going through hell right now at home. They don't know that though. Like, nobody knows
Yeah.
that I went
Well,
to
I
school
think that's
with.
what makes
But
someone cool though. Cause it's
yeah,
like,
I guess.
here's the thing. And I always like wish I could get this across to like my stepdaughter or like just
Mm,
teenagers in general. What makes someone like people have such an idea of what makes someone cool, right?
yeah,
They think, oh, they're always up on the trends. They're doing this, they're doing that. They're always like with people. But the reality is, what makes people cool is the person who just doesn't care. The
yeah,
person who beats to their own drum, doesn't follow, the
yeah.
one who's like, I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you like me. I'm going to do
Right,
my own thing. I'm going to vibe. Like that person is always cool.
right.
And so I thought that that was really
And
interesting.
now I wonder if people like me. Didn't care in high school when I should have. And
I
now
know.
I wonder.
I know.
I don't care, but I wonder. Does that make
That
sense?
is, I wonder how many people I know I always wonder who doesn't like me. I'm sure there's plenty. But I always wonder what that would have been like to
Yeah.
like have that kind of high school experience where you're just like you just don't care. You also had
Yeah.
so many friends. Like you had very different groups. You had a boyfriend always, so it wasn't
Hmm.
like you really cared to like be, like look a certain way for boys.
Right. I really think that
Um
had a lot to do with it. The fact that like I had a boyfriend basically all through high school. And
yeah.
so I like wasn't like, oh my God, like is he gonna like it's like I already had a boyfriend. I was locked and loaded. Like,
Yeah.
and he and his friends were like one of the squirrelier groups of our
Yeah.
school. So it's like nobody really
And they
wanted
like
like,
played music and they were
yeah, they
like,
were like in a
yeah.
band, and like one of
Oh my
them
god,
was
remember
always
his
getting
one
expelled.
yeah, that one
Yeah.
friend was
He was
literally
always getting
always in
expelled.
trouble.
He like would bring knives to school and then wonder why he got expelled. And it was like, well, maybe it was the knife in your backpack
Yeah.
during literally right after Columbine. Like, I don't know.
God,
Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Um, but
jeez.
yeah, no, it is so interesting though. It really is interesting. And
Yeah.
now I just
Now you
you
just vibe. I just I
know,
I
I
I
just
wish that
vibe.
we is there anyone in high school that you looked at and you're like, "God, that I wanna be that. I wanna be her." Whether it's like the popular girl. For me, it was this girl named Megan Moore. Shout out to Megan Moore. She was the
Mm,
most popular girl in middle school and high school. She always had like the best clothes. She had the best hair. Everybody liked her. She had the most friends. She had all the guys liked her. She was beautiful.
mm.
Um and I was just like, "Oh my god, she's everything." We couldn't
She's
have been more
everything.
different. We literally like
Mm.
she was shorter, had like short hair. I was like so tall and but it just goes to show, I wish I could go back to myself now and be like, just like own who you are, and
Totally.
I think that you will feel so much better about yourself. But in those moments of like middle school and high school, I was like, oh my god, Megan Moore, heart,
Dude, Megan Moore. Bring it in.
yeah,
Bring it in for our
bring it in for
girl.
Megan Moore. Everyone, bring it
Megan
in for Megan
Moore.
Moore.
I didn't have a girl like that, if I'm being so
Really,
honest
not
right
even
now.
Chelsea
Who's Chelsea?
Salmon.
I thought she was beautiful, but I didn't
Oh,
think like she was younger than me too. She was
yeah.
like 2 grades below me and like
God, she's so freaking stunning.
so stunning. You can literally find her on Instagram. It's
I know, and you
crazy.
guys would all be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
I would like literally she'd walk around like I don't think people understood. Like no one in our like everyone thought she was like pretty, but they didn't understand like how I
Well,
understood
okay,
that she
okay,
was
and then
beautiful.
now this is
She
a
was
whole other
like
conversation,
super model gorgeous. Like you could be a model and if you come from a
and she
context of
was,
models,
yeah,
she was and she probably is. I think she
yeah,
still probably is. If you come from a context of like being in the entertainment industry like our family was and like having models all around you all the time, you can look at someone and be like, that is a model. Like
and in
that
high
is
school,
a
guys don't
face.
care about that. Guys are not even in
No.
the right mind because they're just like, "Who's the hot girl?
Right.
There's the hot
Who
girl."
makes my weenie wiggle?
Exactly. There's the cuter pie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a girl who is so breathtakingly stunning that
Mm-hmm.
literally only unless you are a the seasoned eye
Mm-hmm.
can only clock
Maybe,
it.
maybe I was the girl. No, I wasn't. I wasn't. But I no, I know. I don't think I had someone like that because
No,
like
you just didn't care.
I mean, I was
I
like
literally was just like,
I was
whoever's dating the guy I like is the one
chilling.
that I want to
Oh,
be.
yeah, that's the one that you want to
And
be.
I
Yeah.
liked twin brothers named Alex and Andy, and one of them told me my dream of modeling was dumb and that I should work for a proactive commercial because I was breaking out and had really bad acne. And now if I look back at it, I would be a multimillionaire because proactive was lit.
Is Proctor still around? Because they need to give you a serious the amount of times that you
I have
have
mentioned this in
shared
every
this
interview. No,
story,
it's like
but it's such a good
vendetta.
story. Yeah, I know you have a little, but like you need to do a proactive
I
ad
know.
and just
And be like, well, one time
send it
this
to him.
guy in woodshop that I really liked said that when I said I wanted to be a model, he was like, what for proactive?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at my
Mm-hmm.
skin now. Thanks to Accutane. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks to
Years ago.
proactive.
God. Yeah, literally. Also, I did use proactives. Anyways,
Thanks,
so I
proactive.
thought that was really sweet because that was right off the heels of our conversation. Then you sent me that, and I was like, oh, see,
It
told
was
you.
interesting timing for sure. It was
Yeah.
interesting timing.
Um, speaking of like on nurses and stuff like that, I told you yesterday I went to go get a physical
Mm-hmm.
after 3 years, mind you, which I knew was going to knock you off your feet.
That destroyed me, dude.
Crazy
That
destroyed.
actually
I
destroyed
know,
me.
but everything came back and okay.
I mean, I knew
Um,
that. I was just like, couldn't
but
believe.
my doctor came in. I have a new doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and she was a plus size woman.
Mm.
And the way, can I just tell you, the way I had never met her because our old doctor left. I don't know where she went. No one knows. Literally, she just fell off the face of the earth. It's weird because
Maybe
doctors
she
just
died.
leave. No, she didn't die. I just don't think that they can do. They have like a non compete, so you can't like work anywhere in the area. I think something like that. Anyways,
Got it.
so I've never seen this woman. I don't know her. Whatever. So I had no idea who to expect or what to expect. But the moment she came in, the way that I was disarmed, I literally was like,
You were like ready to fight. You were like
no,
ready
yep,
to go. You had your
yep,
shields up.
yeah,
You had your sword out and you were
yeah,
like ready.
yeah. I was like, BMI, what? What?
Be like, what?
And she came in and I was like, hey, girl, literally disarmed. Okay. And it just was such a fresh breath of fresh air because she was like my size.
Mm,
And I was like, yeah, okay, thank God. Like, I just know she's going to get it. And I know
yeah.
that she's probably had her own deal of bias in the medical field.
Yes.
And I was just like, yeah, in my head, I'm like, hell yeah, girl. Hell yeah. Like,
Well,
I
it's
know you
one thing
probably freaking were top
heard
of
it.
class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and it's one thing for someone to sympathize, but it's another thing for them to truly empathize with your situation. Like
Yeah.
you can be someone who is like a straight sized person who is a doctor, who can come from a place of, no, I don't believe in body shaming. I don't believe in BMI and I don't believe in any of this like diet
Right.
culture bullshit. It's another thing though to be that because of your lived experiences,
Yeah.
which is her situation. I'm assuming, I don't know, obviously not
Right.
everyone
But
has
if
the
we're gonna
same
be
thing.
so for real and it's if it's 2025 like I think it is,
If
then
we
we
want to check
know,
the
okay?
calendars and see exactly what part of the Greco-Roman calendar we're in right now, the Julius Caesar calendar.
Right. Right. And I think it's 2025.
Yeah. She probably did have that experience.
Yeah. And it was
So
just like really cool
that is
to,
refreshing.
it was like, it was just, my weight was not mentioned. Nothing. Zip.
Incredible.
Never been to a physical where,
Couldn't be any of mine.
no, literally.
Couldn't be any of
And
mine. They'll
like,
literally take my weight for like a fingernail
I
issue.
know,
She's
dude.
like, what does that have to do with
Well, I did
anything?
take my weight, but she didn't like mention it. Like
No,
it
I
wasn't like,
know.
oh, hey,
They mention it.
right. And then
They mention it.
also I was like, can I do like a full blood panel?
Mm.
I was like, I wanted to check everything up and down. And she was like, if you want to. She was like, you don't, there's nothing that like you would need to, but if you want to. And I
Because
was
you're
like,
not
okay, cool.
ailing. She's like, you're not ailing like your sister always is. There's really
I know.
no
And
need for
I'm
that.
like, you're a listener.
Yeah. Are you a listener? It was me actually who asked for the full panel for you. I called them and I said, can you please just secretly do a full
I mean,
panel? I
literally,
need
she
the
was like,
whole, I
if you
need it
want to,
all.
you really don't have to. But then I got my panel back, and it was so interesting because there was one thing that was like slightly elevated. And of course, I get the results the same time the doctor does, which I
Mhm.
don't know if I love. It's like,
Which way would you want?
I don't know. I guess I do like it because I can look at it and kind of do my own research, but then I don't know if
Mm.
that's great. Anyways,
Yeah.
one thing was slightly elevated by like literally two, right? And so
Mhm.
of course, I am like, well, what's that? And she was like, oh no, she was like, because you weren't fasting. I have
Mm.
no issues about it, right? And I just feel like in the past there's been doctors who have been like, yeah, you gotta,
This is it for you.
yeah,
This
let's get
this
you
is
on.
actually the last blood test you're ever gonna get
Yeah,
because
no,
this is the end of
literally.
the road for you
Literally. And for
because
her to
you're
like email me and be like, everything looks great. I was like, excuse me?
I'm taken aback.
Excuse me?
Taken aback.
Sorry. What? It was
Perfect. One
amazing.
day, dude, we should just post our blood test results
I wish I
because
could. And my
so
blood
many
pressure.
people, yeah,
I
like
know.
so many people are like, this is so unhealthy. And I'm like, you guys, I get a blood test basically every other day and they always come back normal. And it's shocking to me that they
No,
come back normal because I'm always convinced something's up. And then
same. And
nothing ever is, which makes me more anxious because I'm like, well,
isn't that
if nothing's
crazy?
up, I'm due for something.
Isn't that crazy? Then we get literally,
Yeah,
I'm like, I feel the exact same. And I think it's just because we've been like bigger bone, quote unquote, our
totally.
entire life. And like, I will get my blood pressure drawn or my blood pressure done. And last week I got a pap smear. This week I got my physical. And yesterday it was 114 over 78. And it's like, um, the, the shock on like some
Mm.
of the nurses' faces, it's just, I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy, huh?
right.
Because if you go on Sports Illustrated's comments, the doctor guys under there who all think they're doctors all think I have high blood pressure and high cholesterol.
They're as much doctors as
But I'll
we
do a
are.
screenshot. Yeah, no, literally. I'm like, well, I'll do a
Literally.
screenshot.
Yeah,
Dude, I will come with receipts and I know you will too. So,
absolutely.
that being said, that was really cool. Now, here's one thing I want to mention.
Do
Okay. And
mention it all.
I want to say this together because we
Okay.
have to all know this. There's one thing a doctor is going to say to you when
Mhm.
it doesn't matter your size. This is not like a size thing. This is a human to human thing. There's one thing a doctor is always going to say before they touch you. And what is that? Let's say it together. Sorry, my
Sorry, my
hands are
hands are
cold.
cold. You're so
Yeah.
right.
Here's the thing. They're
Sorry, my
going to say that
hands are cold.
every single time
Dull
they touch you.
time.
Sorry, my hands are cold. Okay.
Mm.
That is literally, you cannot graduate unless
Mm-mm.
you say that every single time you go
Yeah,
to
they
touch
take the
somebody.
Hippocratic oath, and they say, "And I promise to always have cold hands." Mention it with every patient
Thank you.
in Jesus' name.
I've never had a doctor not say that.
No, never, ever, ever, ever.
If they don't say it, I'm like, this was a fake physical.
If they don't say it, I'm like, they touch me and I'm
No, you didn't mention how cold your hands were.
imagine I ever react to somebody touching me with cold hands.
Like,
Like
who's
who
reacting where they're
that's people
actually
that just
having
want
to say this?
attention though. People that like react to cold hands. Your hands are so cold. You just want attention, dude. I can't feel it. You know how much
No.
layers I have on me? I can't feel it of
Right.
skin.
The epidermis is thick.
Thick.
Yeah.
The epidermis is bumping. The epidermis is that girl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Thank
And
you.
you know, since we're talking about epidermises and being big boned, I have been watching a lot of ballet.
Mhm.
on YouTube. I'm in my ballet era,
Okay,
and
you and Jack
you know I've
Schlossberg.
always loved ballet, though.
Yeah.
You know this. I've always loved ballet.
You and
Nutcracker is
Jack
like one of my
Schlossberg are
favorite
in your
things.
ballet era.
If you know Jack Schlossberger, and I do, he and I are going to do a duet one day.
Yeah.
A duet, a foyer du, if you will.
Thank you.
Um, I think I may have been a ballet dancer in another life, and I'm not even joking right
I
now.
believe it.
I'm being so for real. And do you
I
want to know
believe
why?
it.
I'm going to present my findings to you. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, I love ballet so much. I watch it all the time. I watch like
That's an immediate you're a ballet dancer.
I'm a ballet dancer because I like it. Okay. Obviously, that means I was a ballet dancer in another life. A very famous small Russian ballet dancer.
Yeah.
I watch it all the time. But I also watch the videos that are like the top 10 most difficult ballet steps, blah blah blah.
And you can do them.
And obviously I know them all by heart. No.
Mhm.
I
You have
I
a
know
very
them
large
all.
package and a pair of tights.
I have a bulge the size of New Mexico and a pair of tights. Which
it's like these are all checking
all
out.
of it is pointing to I was a ballet dancer. Imagine I find out I was a male ballet dancer and I'm just crushed. I'm like, no. And it reminds me of two things. Okay, one, also the fact I have very good balance, like very good balance. Ballet. Okay, I'm sorry. I can do a perfect toe point, and I can curve my foot like literally like this.
That's true. You can.
Which is, as any dancer knows, a very important part of dancing and especially ballet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how you're laughing right now because I'm being so for real, dude. I'm sorry that my name was Natasha Natasklova and I was
any of us dancers know.
Us dancers.
When your foot is curved a little bit, then you were in once a past life a point.
Okay, but I also do ballet moves, and you don't know this because I don't do them in front of anyone. But when I'm home alone,
that's really convenient.
I will do.
What are you, my friends in middle school telling me that like they do something but they don't
they
do
were
in
in a
front
music
of me,
video?
so I would know.
Yeah. I was in a music video in Japan, so you guys will never see it.
Okay, so you do ballet moves?
I do it, Hunter. I do it. I do ballet moves at home.
That's so wild.
I do pirouettes. I do all the thing. Tendu close, tendu close, tendu close. I do it all, okay?
2 pas de bourrée.
2
sachet.
3 4 pas de bourrée sachet. I do all that. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It all feels so natural to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see that.
It clicks in.
It's not clunky at all.
And I don't know, not clunky at all, dude. I am light on your feet. I'm light on my feet and elegant, eleganza, grande eleganza. That would have been
muy grande eleganza.
Grande eleganza would have been my drag name. Okay, I straight up, and me in a tutu being 400 pounds.
It's
Do
like
you
bear,
know that
it's like the bear from Madagascar who's like
literally
riding the bike in the tutu?
Just like a pink onesie tutu riding a tiny bike. Like that's me.
That's you, dude.
Russian fez hat. Like that's literally me. I don't know if you know this, but I took ballet lessons when I was very, very little. Like very, very little. And I remember a teacher.
Like, how much is you saying this? Like how when I'm gonna enroll Ava in ballet, she's 2, and then she's gonna do it for 1 semester in fall, and then she's gonna forever say,
right on that.
I did ballet when I was younger.
But there's a reason why I stopped, and it was because the teacher said that I probably didn't have the body type for ballet, which she wasn't wrong. Okay. Like I can't be mad because it was incorrect. I'm 5'11" and like 280. There's no way I could have been a ballet dancer.
She said that?
Yeah, she said it.
Mom?
She said it. I don't know. I think it was to me.
Oh my God.
And I think honestly, like she was probably honestly French. Like she was probably French, and she looked at me and she was like, you'll never be a ballet dancer. You are too big.
There's one thing I know for sure, okay, and I know this, okay? It's 2025. That's number 1. Number 2, I know that if you're in a ballet class, your teacher is French and she's going to body shame you. I know those 2 things, and that's it.
We've always known that, and we've always said that about everything. And so I didn't obviously pursue it, and I wouldn't have been able to be a ballet dancer. There's just no way. Even if I never ate again, I'm too tall. She's too
But let
broad.
me
Don't
tell
talk to me
you.
about Misty Copeland. I don't want to hear it because she's
No,
what, 5'9"?
no, no, no. Well, here, okay, tall, yes. Tall, yes. But there's a ballet dancer, and her name
I
is
know who you're
Lizzie
thinking of.
Howell.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Lizzie Howell, I have met her before, and she is the most incredible ballet dancer. She's a plus size, and she is absolutely incredible. Everyone look her up. Go show her some love because she literally made the little girl in me like squeal with excitement. Do you see
I
her?
do see her. And had I seen that,
I know. Wouldn't you be like, no, I can't be a ballet dancer because look at Lizzie?
literally I could have now been a ballet dancer, although
I
she
know.
is not very tall.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But she's still plus size. I think it's still like ballet dancers. Some of them are tall. They're just lean. They
I
have
think
those arms that
I
do
think that there
this.
is something to it though, where like there is a necessity for a slender frame because of the lines that are in it. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? Like I'm not
As a ballet
saying
dancer, it does make sense to me.
as a fellow
What you're
ballet
saying makes
dancer,
sense. Yes.
and we are nothing if not two learned, skilled
Very
company ballet
skilled.
dancers.
Literally, I was the mouse in
You were
Nutcracker.
the mouse and I was the mom that had all the kids under me.
Oh my, that's the best
I'm the
role.
premier ballerina. Okay. I have an audition later for Swan Lake. But like I don't know. I wish I'd seen someone like that when I was younger, or I wish that that teacher would have seen someone like that so she didn't look at me when I was 2 and say, "You are too fat and too tall to be a ballet dancer. Get out of my classroom." Like I probably could have explored it better and
Isn't
actually
it?
stepped into my destiny.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like if we're looking back based on like your history,
Mhm.
that is exactly where things
It's
were
my
reported.
balance really, okay? Because one of the two of us
I
doesn't
have
fall
whole
all the time.
dude,
So
the way that I fall, it's concerning. It's absolutely concerning that I
no, it's
fall so
very concerning. You
much.
will fall just standing.
It's
I don't know
crazy.
how
And
you
I
do
will
it.
drop
I don't think I
things.
haven't actually like fallen, knock on wood,
Knock on
in
wood.
years and years and years and years. Like I can't really the last time I fell,
I know this because we would have been hearing about it. If you had fallen, we would have still been hearing
I
about it.
would
If
have
it was
been in
within the
the
last 5
ambulance.
years, we would have
I'd
been hearing
still be
about
in an
it.
ambulance. But yeah, so I think I was a ballerina in another life.
I think that's probably does ring true
I also want to
as
talk
much
about
as
something
me
else.
being a ballerina in another
Right.
life. What else?
The astronauts trapped for
Oh,
9
I
months.
literally have that on my list too
Okay.
because yeah, I
You
I
guys
have
have
so
probably
much
heard
issue with all of this.
Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, which is also, by the way, your name is Butch Wilmore.
Your name is Butch.
You
Let's
were
be real.
Butch,
You
dude.
Butch the ballerina.
Butch is the ballerina would literally be my name.
I
You know how
literally
there's Bob the drag queen? I would be Butch the ballerina.
completely.
I just want to say something. If I was trapped up in a space station for 9 months with another astronaut and I'm me and he's a guy,
Would you
I
guys
would
have
have fallen
sex?
in love.
Oh
Not
yeah.
that, but I would have
Oh
definitely fallen in love. Like the
no, for
forced
sure.
proximity of that, it doesn't even
Talk
matter
about
what
shared
he looks like or
experience.
who he is. Like that's just yeah, the trauma bond there. No wonder the families were worried. That they
I
were more
know.
worried. It's so funny because they always are reporting about how the families were way more worried than the actual astronauts were about the
I
situation.
know.
And I'm
They're
like,
like,
yeah, I'll
we're
bet they
fine.
were. They're
They were
like,
in a
we're
rom
great
com.
as they're like lip locked. Like I
No.
don't there would have I would have written a fan fiction about us.
Here's the thing. There's absolutely a movie that is happening about
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, here's the thing. How much are they going to have to relearn to live without each other now that they're absolutely in love with each other?
That's a good point that they were
I
together for so
almost
long.
wish that they would send two single. Okay, this is the premise.
Hmm.
Netflix, you're listening. I know you are.
Hmm.
Send two singles up for 9 months to space
Okay.
and see if they fall in love.
Wow.
And then
Okay, I
after
love
that, they
it.
have to get married.
An interstellar and then they have to get married. An interstellar love match.
Yeah.
Living.
Yes. Living for it, right?
Living.
Okay. And also I want to say something. I want to know what you would do if they were like, first of all, you really think it took 9 months to get them out of there? Come on, okay? We could have got him down later. I think they were going, "We're okay, just do another month or so." But
Mm.
also, I think it was absolutely hysterical that the way they got them back was they had to literally detach and then fall into the middle of the ocean, like, as if these people have not been through enough, as if they
No.
have not been ripped from their family for 9 months, missed Christmas, missed birthdays,
Right.
had literally are like, they haven't, experienced, gravity in 9 months,
Right.
and they're like,
Right.
"Okay, guys, so listen, when you guys come down, you're gonna barrel into the middle of the ocean. Dolphins are gonna surround you." Did you see that? Dolphins
Yeah.
were surrounding them. And
Yes,
then
I'm
we're
sure
gonna
they
have to,
were.
like, get you
Yeah.
guys out of there. So,
Right.
get ready. You're coming home. Literally,
Life
I
comes at
couldn't
you fast.
believe my eyeballs, dude.
Yeah.
How terrifying to go from
Horrifying.
space to the middle of the ocean, just two extremes. And also, what do you do after that? How do you live? What do you like? You have to go through serious therapy, right? Like, you have been
Mm,
9 months not with zero gravity.
right. And 0 Instagram.
That part mainly.
I mean, if
Mainly
we're
that
really being so
part.
for real. No
Let's be so for real,
news.
that part.
Lucky. Put me up there for 9
Also,
months. I would love to
also, I
disconnect
think
for
they
9
literally
months.
did do Instagram though, because they were like sending pictures and stuff. Also, I'm wondering, I think they might have cameras on them.
How much would we literally be like,
No, literally be like, Mars.
trapped up here, day 430?
Yeah.
Like
Not,
we
and we would literally be like, not this ketchup like squirting out in front of me. Ew.
not having to pee in a bag. Not that.
Not this pickle floating into my mouth, OnlyFans. Just
Not
absolutely
this dehydrated oatmeal. Hashtag
literally.
dry. Hashtag high dry.
Like, we would literally be like
Hashtag high
trying to
board.
trying to monetize it. Like, what the hell?
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely
have just so
monetizing.
many questions, and I just feel like we're, as Americans, we're just like not asking the
Not
right
asking
questions. What
enough.
were you
Okay, what
watching up there? Were
questions?
you able to watch?
Right. What were you able
You
to
know,
watch? What were you able to know? I'm so sorry you had to come back down to earth and Donald Trump was the president. Our
Michaela, they
bad.
literally went up there and
And
Biden
Biden
was
was the president.
president. They came down, missed an entire election, and now it's a different president and a different year.
Did they vote? They must have
I don't
voted.
know, but I did
How do you
imagine
do
there's only
that?
2 votes missing. It's them. Yeah, how do you stay informed? God, I just thought it was
What other
absolutely
questions do you
incredible.
have?
Well, I wanna know, how do they have something like, can they watch TV?
Mm-hmm.
Are they able to, like, talk to their family and FaceTime? Do they,
Mm,
like, and when they do that, do they, like, show the family, like, "Hey, there's Earth. Look at you. That's you guys down there."
right.
Are they How do their bodies feel right now? Like,
Right.
can you just stand up immediately because you've been floating for 9 months straight?
I
Are
don't
your
think you
bones
can.
brittle?
I don't think you can stand up because I remember was when I saw them taking them out, he was still like sitting. Like he was like sitting
Yeah.
still. So I don't
And,
know.
like, I wonder what their bone mass looks like because they look
Right. That's
completely
so true.
different.
Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. I kind of have to look this up.
I
Okay.
know. I have so many questions. I'm
Do
so
you
curious.
lose
Bone
muscle
mass.
mass in space? Yes, astronauts experience muscle loss in space.
Have to, right? Oh, well, especially if I think that's the
Yeah, it
longest anyone's been
atrophies.
up there, no? 9
Oh, I don't
months?
know about
Like,
that.
I
Yeah.
am sure there's gonna be a study on them. They probably are in the hospital right now getting checked over, and then you have to go through therapy because what do? You literally were in something that is so mind-blowing that is like, how do
Mm.
you experience life after that?
They use devices that simulate gravity, such as resistance bands and treadmills, to undergo rigorous exercise programs while they're in space.
Wow, dude, that's so
Not a 24-hour
American.
fitness in space. I thought I was going to
Also,
get away from this gym grind.
that's so, like, our culture to be like, "Don't get fat up there.
Don't get
Make sure you're
fat.
working out." God, we're gonna make sure we make room for an elliptical.
Imagine she's like on the cover of Cosmo and it's like, how I stayed fit in space for 9
No,
months.
literally. Michaela,
How
also,
I
like,
stayed svelte and kept my muscle mass.
that's kind of where we're heading. I was on the Starbucks app this morning and I was like, what in the 2002? There was Starbucks drinks under 300 calories. These are high
Mm-mm.
protein meals under 200 calories. I was like,
High protein,
what?
vegan, high keto,
No, like, it was literally
low.
in the Starbucks app. I was like, oh,
It's
it's
wild.
2002.
We're living in hell. This is the hell timeline.
I think so.
It's fiery.
Bible has talked about it all. That's all I'm gonna say.
Do you know what I was thinking
Um,
about the other day? Does anyone ever wonder if like
you're like, You know what I was thinking about the other day? Do you really think that Adam and Eve came from
I
Adam's
just keep
rib?
bringing it up to you, just trying to just get
Until
you
I
over onto
change
my
my
side. No, I was thinking about, do you think that it is possible that there was like sections of the Bible that were like burned before we were able to like really get to them, or like,
Well, I
like
think
I
that's
always
just
think
the
about
life
that.
that we're in now. That's the section in the Bible that we're in now.
This section is gonna get burned.
No, literally, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, that was crazy. Let's just like forget about it."
Right. But like you think about like a person had to physically enter that into the Bible. Where is it possible that somebody was writing transcripts and just in the chaos of life,
Maybe.
it didn't get in there?
I will say
Do you know what I
Revelations
mean?
does
Think
talk about
that.
what's been going on in the last 5 or 6 years.
I
Anyways.
cannot with rapture anxiety. Okay.
Anyways,
Don't
listen, Rapture's
this
not, but you have to
don't do
understand this
this
is
to me.
within thousands of years. This isn't within like
What
hundreds
about
and
millions of years? You go talk to the dinosaurs and tell them,
yeah,
we're going to talk about how this was in the Bible. And they're going to say, were we in the Bible? Did
that's
anyone
what the
care about
dinosaur's gonna say.
us? That's what they're going to say. And you're
Yeah,
going to say
but that was
no, because you're
thousands
not
of years
Christians. You guys weren't
before.
born again Christians. And so you all perished.
That's Catholicism.
And that's Catholicism, babe.
Anyways, listen, Michaela.
Hunter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Guys,
You're welcome.
we have so much more to chat about because I have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things we didn't even talk about yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have 6.
Okay, well, I
So
have 7,
enjoy the
actually.
Patreon. Well, I have 9.
I think I have at least a handful, a dozen.
I have a
Handful
baker's
and
dozen, so 13.
I have at least a
You guys,
Costco egg carton, 18.
If you're not subscribed to the Patreon, make sure you do $5 a month. You get 2 extra episodes. We're gonna be recording one of those right now. So like the next Patreon episode is gonna be these topics that we have not been able to touch on.
We're literally going from this to Patreon episodes. So it's like just a continuation of this, basically, just like longer. It's just like
it's
you're
long
basically
form.
getting over an hour and a half of content between this and Patreon for $5.
You get 2 of them a month, okay? You get no ads. You get all the video.
Yeah,
you get to
all
see
of this
our
against my will.
Stunning faces. Hunter is mad. Please subscribe so I can keep the Patreon going, because Hunter's mad always about it and we need it to be financially viable. Okay? If you guys want us to survive, subscribe to the Patreon.
Thank
all right.
you. See y'all over there.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening. You can catch a new episode of Model Citizen every Thursday. And please don't forget to follow the podcast so you don't miss any of the action. We want to hear from you, so please leave a rating and review and follow us on socials for all the behind-the-scenes action at Hunter McGrady and Michaela McGrady. And don't forget, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are capable of doing all wonderful things. Bye, guys.